chaos. And it's changed into another form which allows it to escape. Okay?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going on now. We're on the back burner of history, and everything is beginning to boil, and it's about to change into steam, and we're going to escape. It's really the secret of transcendence. We're going to transcend this historical reality, and just as water changes or just as boiling water changes from water to steam, pretty much in that instant when the temperature gets high enough, as soon as the temperature of this historical reality gets high enough, we're going to transfer our reality from one to another, and we're all going to kind of look back at what was going on and say, what were we thinking of? Why were we doing that?
Yeah.
Why were we so angry at each other? And we're going to be kind of embarrassed and sheepish about the whole thing. And so, it's not that we don't have a lot of work to do. We do.
Yeah.
And the fact that, we have radio shows, or that people are on the internet and people are talking, and things have changed.
Yeah, indeed.
I used to know a very wealthy man who let me into his library of 15,000 books, very rare books. This is 25 years ago. And he let me read as many of the books as I wanted to read. And so I did. And today, on the internet, I can find 75, 80% of that information from those rare books on the internet. Things that people would never have believed 15, 20 years ago is now, up on the internet, public for everyone to see. The problem is, of course, that the internet is not intellectually suited for browsing in the right way.
Yeah.
So unless you know what you're looking for, you can't find it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
an accident. And that is a problem with the internet. I'm a literary person, and I love books. I'm sitting in my room right now surrounded by hundreds of books. And so I'm pained by the death of the literate society. But at the same time, I know that the literate society, the literate world, has constraints on it, and that these constraints, what books do is they change the way you think, and they compartmentalize the way you think, and that's very good for logic and for understanding problems, but it's also very restraining. There's a great book by an author named Leonard Shlain called The Alphabet versus the Goddess. It's about how the written word destroyed the spiritual society that existed for thousands of years, threw us into history. And I think that that's right. And I think we're beginning to leave the literate world behind, and we're moving into a world of symbol. And symbol is the way that the overmind communicates with us. Words are indeterminate. Words can be manipulated, but symbols hit us on an interior level, and that's why I'm so interested in cinema and video, these things, because symbols can be used in those, as Stanley did with his black monolith in 2001: A Space Odyssey, and in a second, the numinous mystery of the symbol goes deep into a place inside us that words can never reach. So, there's a saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, I say a symbol is worth 1,000 pictures.
Yeah, that's right, actually. That's a good one, yeah. I wanted to ask you, because of the movies, of course, Lord of the Rings, but also Terminator, as one thing that that popped up in my head when you mentioned those movies was that towards the end of the movie, there is the general theme in both of them, I guess, the second Terminator film, I should say, and the last Lord of the Rings movies, because they end in this Lord of the Rings and at Mount Doom, where fire and lava spews out, and it's very, basically fire is the theme there. But also in Terminator, that also is the thing, that the fire that consumes this robot. And is this what you're talking about here?
Well, that's a very interesting observation, because also the name of Fulcanelli is Fulcan, which is Vulcan, which is volcano. And there does seem, and Fulcanelli says in his book that this age will be destroyed by fire.
Yeah.
So there is this odd idea that volcanism, or some kind of symbolic destruction of the age by fire, is what's going on here. And of course, the Earth is heating up. There's no doubt about it. I live in the far north of the United States, generally in one of the colder areas.
Yeah.
And we're in an unprecedented heat wave even right now.
We are here too. It seems like it's
uncanny. I mean, right now today it's so hot. We have the windows open, and for late September, this is just unheard of here.
Yeah.
It does not happen, and yet it's happening. And I was talking to someone the other day who told me they saw a seagull in New Mexico, which is the hottest desert in America. And this is unbelievable. What is a seagull doing, in New Mexico? And things are happening in a strange way. And when I first encountered Fulcanelli's prediction that this world would be destroyed by fire, of course I didn't believe it. But starting in 1992, and I've been tracking this ever since, every summer is hotter than the summer before. And we're like in a time bomb, and it's ticking away.
Yeah.
And you just have to wonder when there's going to be crop failures and famine, and water is going to be depleted from hotter areas, and also, of course, the anger of the planet seems to be increasing.
Yeah.
People are less tolerant. Where are the peacemakers? 20 years ago, we had peacemakers, people trying to make peace between warring nations. They don't exist anymore. There's no one trying to make peace anymore. And so this thing has to go all the way to its end. It can't be stopped anymore. And we can only hope that it ends before the forests are gone, and before the water is gone, and before the wildlife is gone, and before the human race is gone.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it's a great observation. Also, if you remember in Lord of the Rings, the ring gets heavier and heavier with each step towards Mount Doom.
Yeah.
With Frodo.
Yeah.
This is also what's happening. Gravity is getting denser. Time is getting denser. Everything is getting heavier and heavier with each second as we approach the great moment when this age ends. And I have no idea how Tolkien knew all of this. It can only have come from the overmind. It can only have come from a deeply spiritual, naturally based philosophy, which he did have, that evoked this for him. And in the end, I think that Tolkien was an alchemist, and I think he learned what he knew from philology and his study of linguistics.
Yeah. Because
he was an expert in language, I think he began, and what he was really interested in, Tolkien, was the history of words.
Yeah.
He would take a word and go back and back and back thousands of years, and I think he began seeing the secret history of the human race through this study of language.
Yeah.
Even to the extent of hobbits.